Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, and this is Remembrance of the Daleks from 1988. Previously, we'd had Dragonfire, and the next one will be the Happiness Patrol. So this is season 25, and it's the first story, and it's made up now of 4 episodes. These were transmitted between 5th of October to the 26th of October 1988. It's written by Ben Aronovich, who also was the writer of Battlefield 1989, which is a brilliant episode. And that is the Sylvester McCoy's last season, which is brilliant. He's also been involved in writing a lot of spin-off novels for Virgin, and then, of course, for Big Finish. As it's if Doctor Who would have carried on, he would have been writing more. He was really full of ideas, and I think it generally accepted that his scripts were really good. The script editor was Andrew Cartmel, and it's directed by Andrew Morgan, who had previously directed Time and the Rani 1987, so that is the only other connection with Doctor Who that he directed. And of course, it's produced by, as usual, John Nathan Turner. Now, the locations are interesting in this story. We've got St. John's School, Hammersmith, which is used as the original Coal Hill School that we saw right back in the very first pilot episode. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. This is a real journey back, reminiscing. Oh, wow. What can I say? And then we've got Keenbridge Steam Museum in Brentford used, and Ladbroke Grove as well. So let's get into the cast. We've got Sylvester McCoy playing the 7th Doctor, Sophie Alfred as Ace. Then we've got Terry Malloy, who, as usual, does the Daleks. He does the Emperor Dalek, and he does Davros. Yes, Davros, of course. So that's a big hint that we've got Davros here. Then we've got Simon Williams, who plays Group Captain Gilmore. Simon Williams was a big figure in terms of 70s television in the series that he was in, which, of course, was Upstairs and Downstairs. Between 1971 and 1975, he played James Bellamy. And he's in quite a lot of TV series as well. If you look, there's quite a few there. And he's also been in The Archers. I never follow that, but it's a different one, isn't it? A radio series, I think, so kind of series. Anyhow, he's in that. So we've got Pamela Salem, who plays Professor Rachel Jensen. She was in the first Great Train Robbery, brilliant, 1978. She was in The Bitch, Joan Collins film, 1979. She was in Never Say Never Again, so a Bond film. She played Miss Moneypenny, and that's from 1983. but it's an unofficial Bond film. It was the one where Sean Connery made his comeback. I won't go into too much about that film, but anyhow, there it is. Then we've got Gods and Monsters, 1998, April Showers, 2003, and Pig, 2011, as a narrator. And again, she's somebody who's appeared in a lot of TV series and TV films. Then we've got Face, that I know some of you, will recognise. And it was George Sewell who played Ratcliffe. Now, in his film career, he was in Sparrows Can't Sing, 1963, which I think is a really interesting film. It was part of the kitchen sink dramas, and Barbara Windsor was in that as well. Yes, he's in that. Then he was in The Informers, 1963. He was in the brilliant, it always comes up, doesn't it, Robbery, 1967, with the wonderful Stanley Baker. Oh, yes, it's about the Great Train Robbery. It's fantastic, absolutely. Then we've got Vengeance of She. He was in The Haunted House of Horror, 1969. Get Carter. He's in Get Carter, 1971. He was in Barry Lyndon. Oh, wow. No, that's what a film. Barry Lyndon, 1975. He was in Winter Spell, 1978. And, of course, it's TV series that he stands out as, particularly in two roles. He was in UFO, cult sci-fi series, brilliant, 17 episodes, 1970 to 71. He was in Special Branch, 1973 to 74, 26 episodes. That was a very popular series. He was also in Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, 1979, and he was in 7 episodes of that. Then we've got Dursley McClendon, who played Sergeant Mike Smith. He really had a lot of theatre and some TV series, but sadly, in 1995, he died of AIDS, and he was only aged 30. Wow, AIDS was in that period it was devastating, absolutely. Then we have got Michael Sheard, who plays the headmaster. And people say, headmaster, I wonder why. Because, of course, he played Maurice Bronson from Grange Hill. Yes, Grange Hill, extremely popular TV series. But also, I think it's always worth remembering that he was in The Empire Strikes Back, 1980, Star Wars film, where he played Admiral Ozzel. So there you are. That is the cast. So what is this story about? Well, the Doctor and Ace go back to 1963, so right from the beginning, here you are. It's also interesting. There is, I know I've jumped, but I have to say, this going back, we see a TV set, and there's almost this kind of joke where it's introducing a program which appears to be Doctor Who, but we never quite say it. But it's almost like a joke there, but a reference to 1963. Anyhow, I'm off. I'm gone again. Anyhow, so we what it is they going back to retrieve the Hand of Omega, which is a powerful device created, of course, by the Time Lords, and basically they want to keep it from the Daleks who are around, because now the two Dalek factions would love to get hold of this, because there are two Daleks, isn't he? Again, it's another interesting twist, I think, seeing that the Daleks have split into two factions. So we've got the Imperial Daleks, which are on the orbiting mothership, and this, of course, it turns out that the Emperor Dalek is, of course, Davros. Yes, we had to have Davros. A bit of Davros never did anybody any harm. Oh, well, he would try if he could. And then we have these renegade Daleks who totally reject Davros's authority as the Emperor Dalek. And they have decided to get involved with Ratcliffe, who is this kind of embittered, I suppose he's a Nazi sympathizer. And this was happening, I know, in the sort of early 60s. There's kind of this revisionism. It's not that long after the war, but there were still, even in our country, people who had these terrible views were still arcing back to the Nazis. In fact, it's where the origins, in many ways, of the rise of the National Front in the late 70s came from. And some of these people were involved. So we've got, I think, a very interesting situation with the Daleks being split into two factions, and the story just is considered one of the great stories of Doctor Who. You can see why. The money is there, and it's there in front of you on screen. It looks absolutely fantastic. The location of the school is great, and Ace is fantastic. Who can forget or not forget the wonderful scene where she's bashing a Dalek with a baseball bat? Ace comes into her own, and as we see in the documentary, Sophie Alfred, she loved doing that scene. And who could blame her? She was really giving it a good bash there, giving it a real brilliant bash. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. What can I say? Just absolutely brilliant. And that is just one of those outstanding stories. You can see why, because we've had some not very good stories from the Sylvester McCoy era of the first season. Things did pick up a little bit, maybe, but now this is Doctor Who back. And it's fortunate, really. I think the fact it helps because it is like this anniversary celebration, looking back at the past. It's a good episode in that sense, that you get that nostalgic feeling, and it plays on that quite rightly. You can't blame the writers for doing that. I think it absolutely works well. If you've not seen this episode, why not? You should watch it. It's great. It puts Doctor Who really back there, and really we're going to see even more better sort of Doctor Who from what we've had in some of the other stuff. I mean, once the Sylvester McCoy era really gets going into it, to the very last season, then it's a treat. It really is. So that's why you can get excited about this episode. I know people don't get excited as much with the Silver Nemesis, which was a Cyberman story for various reasons, but it's still better than some of the stuff with that. And Ace as a companion, I think Ace now is here now, and people were already, the fans were saying, yeah, we like this character. She's a great character, and she is. And her relationship with the Doctor is already building up beautifully. There's so much to recommend about this story, and I certainly do. What can I say? Let's just say that when you look at Doctor Who in classic series, of all the episodes that we've seen over the years, this is always well thought of and looked at by fans. I wouldn't say it would be my top one, but it's up there, definitely. It's in the quality best episodes, definitely. Absolutely, it's great. Now, it got a VHS release in 1993, DVD release 2001, 2009, And a Blu-ray, of course, in 2024 with Doctor Who The Collection, Season 25. And as usual, I will show you my things. So firstly, now, Remembrance of the Daleks, which came out first in DVD 2001, was an early release, very early on in the series. I remember getting this, and therefore there's hardly any extras worth talking about. They didn't do extras in those early days. There's a nice disc and there's the leaflet, but this, for me, it was exciting because this was a very early release. I think what they did when they first released them, they did one for each Doctor, and this, I think, was the one that they gave to Sylvester McCoy as a release. But, as often was the case, they released this, which was a special edition later. This was 2009. Oh, look at this, actually, it's got a nice slip. There it is. And it's a 2-disc set. So there we are. The back there. And look, 2 discs. And there is the special edition and also updated special effects you can have. And then we've got a documentary looking at Davros. Wow. Wow, the excitement. This is brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And of course that will appear, of course, on the Blu-ray thing, and plus more. But then we've always got this lovely leaflet. You always get that lovely leaflet there. That's it. Updated. But isn't it great? You know, the way I treasure these. The way they developed. And that, you see, seeing this just reminds me of how far we've come, because this was such an early release on DVD of Doctor Who. It was exciting for me then, seeing that. But then, you know, you got special edition. Wow. And then, of course, here it is. This is how far we've come nowadays. A beautiful season 25 Doctor Who, the collection. I mean, what can you say? Look at that. There it is, on the back there. Oh yeah, and what more can I say? Let me just take this out. You take it out of there. There it is. Wonderful. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And then, if you look inside, look at this. You open this up and you get inside, you've got a booklet and everything. See, that opens up and look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And what can you say about that? And then there's all the discs there. All the discs. Brilliant. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I mean, look at it. Each disc. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, wow. I love this set. Absolutely. So I'll just put that one back there. Yep. That's it. Yes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed it. It's always a great travelling back and looking at Doctor Who and thinking, wow, I wish it was like this nowadays. And the new Doctor Who just, well, anyhow, I won't go there, but you know what I like. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed what I've done. Now, if you have enjoyed it, why not give it a like? If you give this video a like, it gets it onto YouTube and then other people might enjoy it. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I'll always reply to your comments. I really enjoy reading them. And also, if you're new to my channel, why not subscribe? Please, you know, just if you subscribe, you can see all the notifications you'll get that I've put out new videos. Look in the playlist. In the playlist, you'll see I do much more than Doctor Who. I've done all these previous, so you can look at all previous reviews of Doctor Who. But you can see I also do a lot of TV shows and films and all that kind of stuff, all with a nostalgic base. And yeah, I've been rabbiting on far too long. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.